Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Faithful Dogs. I'm Ted, the Niner fan, the faithful side. This is Big Mike from the Man Cave 10, the Dogs side of things, because he's a Cleveland Browns fan. So taking it easy on him a little bit this week. Obviously, his Browns lost to the Texans, and he and I were both surprised. Both of us picked the Browns to win, and how are you doing other than that, though, Mike? How are you doing this week?
I'm all right. Even with that loss, I'm still all right.
That's
It was
always
still a
good.
W. The season was still a W for us. Weren't supposed to be here. All the injuries, all the stuff we've gone through, 4 quarterbacks. So the fact that we made the playoffs, we went 11-6. To me, that's a winning season.
Oh, absolutely. Especially the 4 quarterbacks part.
Yep.
You beat us with PJ Walker, and then reincarnated Joe Flacco from the dead,
Yeah, right off
off the street. Pretty incredible.
Yeah, that's how most of our offensive line was for a while there, right off the street.
That's crazy. Well, so it's divisional round weekend now. Obviously, there were some other kind of surprising games over the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I picked the Bucks to beat the Eagles, but I'm still kind of surprised that the Eagles are out. It's something I kept thinking they would figure it out, and it's the playoffs, and we'll start playing well, type of thing.
Now, see, I wasn't surprised by that because I picked the Bucks too, and I picked the Packers. I wasn't shocked by
Wow.
either one. Because Dallas, the Cowboys are the Cowboys. They always show up, and then here we are, and then they get shut down. And I knew their defense was going to be lackadaisical because, again, their secondary was nothing. With Gilmore going down, they had no Diggs still. They have no run game. People are touted like they got, and I'm going to make a video about this later. People are touted that we got 9 pro bowlers and all pros and all this other shit and talent everywhere. You have no run game. Pollard had one 100-yard game. That was like the 3rd week in. After that, it was 50 here, 40 here, 70 here. Never did he run for another 100 yards. That's a big issue. You guys are blowing out trash teams all year. And then the fact that you kept McCarthy, you're keeping Dak because that's a lot of red tape you have to cut through to try to trade him because he has a no trade clause. So you're going to go for another year of 12-5 and not doing shit. That's pretty much what I feel it's going to be.
What's the definition of insanity?
Doing the same thing over again, thinking you're going to do something better.
Cowboys are insane. Jerry Jones is insane.
I truly believe the fact that he won't give up some of the control affects coaches. And some of these young guys weren't going for that. And Bill probably looked him straight in the face and said, nah, I went right from Kraft and I'm not going to you.
Yeah, worse. Frying pan to the fire, if you will.
Yeah.
No doubt. See, we got Jimmy Perez in the audience. He's saying, what up, Ted and Mike? What up, Jimmy? Thanks for joining us. Everyone, make sure to hit the like and subscribe buttons. If you're on TED Talks Ball, make sure you get on over to the Man Cave 8172 is Mike's YouTube channel. His Twitter handle is the Man Cave 10. And make sure you give him a like and subscribe. I'm just checking out his channel, giving him a like. If you're on a browser, you can open up 2 tabs and watch us both at the same time, which is what I'm also doing here. That way we get more view hours. It really helps us. So thanks in advance for helping us to do all that. So let's see here. So obviously the Texans, pulled off the upset at NRG Stadium. CJ Stroud looking legit. I think D'Amico pretty much locked up Coach of the Year with that victory because Stefanski. They were. I think they were neck and neck going into that, right? Are you?
But if you're saying that the awards go through the playoffs, The war stopped in the regular season. I don't think they keep on going. I think that's it. You saw what it was. That's it.
Yeah,
So
I
that's
guess.
I mean, if they continue through the playoffs, and yeah, I mean, D'Amico outcoached Stefanski in that game, whatever. But I still think Stefanski deserves it. He did all he did with what he had and all this adversity. I'd still
Crazy injuries,
give it
not just to the quarterbacks, but a lot of injuries on. I mean, Chubb
to Stefanski.
and on the defense too. No doubt about it. Um, and then so obviously, some other interesting games. Um, like I said, Eagles and Bucks. The Bucks were dropping balls left and right. Didn't seem like they were going to be able to figure it out, and somehow they did. So I'm happy for them. Um, Obviously, Detroit beat the Rams.
Mhm.
The Lions beat the Rams. I thought there were some dirty plays in that game. I thought there were kind of head hunting. I saw helmet to helmet on Puka, helmet to helmet on Kyron, helmet to helmet on Stafford. And then obviously they went low on Higbee towards ACL, just like that same guy did against Hawkinson a few weeks ago. So he's taking out two tight ends, ACLs in the same way. And Stafford, actually, there's a clip of him today.
He ran up on him.
Yeah, and he said, nice hit, but you're dirty. You're dirty.
Yeah.
And I agree. I think the Lions played dirty. It reminded me of Dan Campbell saying, bite those kneecaps. And I feel like they kind of took it to heart. Though. People say by any means necessary in the playoffs, right? And I feel like they really took that to the extreme.
Some of it could have been, definitely. But I don't think it all is, because if you look at it, every game, there's stuff that happens like that. But yeah, some of it definitely, you can be like, twice, same tight guy, that
Well,
gets
then
weird.
helmet to helmet at the end on the questionable non-call too. They kind of were headhunting him when the guy was tugging on his jersey before, and the second guy in went for his head as he was going to the ground. So I was like, I just didn't like the way they were playing. If I was a Ram, and I don't like the Rams, like, come on, they're my division rival. So like, if I'm sticking up for the Rams, it's real. That's like that. Yeah, I mean, I like to think that I'm pretty objective, but definitely, all things equal, I'm not going to try and stick up for the Rams. That's for sure.
Yeah.
No, so that kind of worries me about Detroit if they manage to beat the Bucks, which they're favored to do here this weekend. Other interesting stuff over the weekend. I don't know. Obviously, there were a lot of games. 6 games, Super Wild Card weekend. I mean, the Bills and Steelers. I don't know that was that interesting. We kind of both expected the Bills to win. They won. Seemed like they had a bunch more injuries though on that defense.
Yep, they did get beat up a little more.
Another linebacker, like after they lost.
And then they lost Rasul Douglas out corner.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, after they had already lost Tre'Davious White and Kyrie Elam. And then now they lost Milano and then their second linebacker. This was like their third linebacker. So at some point when you're just playing replacement guys, then replacing them isn't that big of a deal. But compared to like losing a star, right? But
yeah,
I don't know. I think it's wild that the Bills are favored against the Chiefs this weekend. I mean, I picked them to win, but I think that's more like my heart, like wanting them to win and hating on Mahomes and the Chiefs than it is my head saying that I really truly believe that they can beat the Chiefs, especially that Chiefs defense looks pretty stout. I mean, at least it did against Tua and the and the Dolphins.
I think that was a lot more of the cold than it was the Chiefs defense. I mean, your mustache is freezing with nothing going on. I mean, that's a problem. I can't believe they postponed the Steelers-Bills game because of snow, but you ain't going to postpone the Chiefs game with -20? That's like you're getting frostbite coming soon. I mean, that's exposed skin. You're not supposed to be out there during that. That's the crazy shit.
Yeah, well, and Mahomes' helmet exploded.
Yeah, it got so cold when it got smacked, it exploded. That's crazy.
That is crazy, no doubt about it. So it's weird for 49ers. We obviously had the bye, but it kind of felt like a victory week for us because Cowboys are gone, Eagles are gone, Rams are gone. I probably told you last week, Rams and Packers were my two teams that I feared the most in the NFC. Not a lot, but the most.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's just kind of interesting. I don't really hate the Rams, but I definitely hate the Eagles, and I definitely hate the Cowboys, and I hate the Seahawks. They didn't even make the playoffs. So it's just really weird rolling into divisional round with like no teams that I hate in the NFC left. Like,
That is a weird thing.
yeah, it's a strange feeling. Um, maybe the Lions can jump up there pretty quick. Their fans are awfully annoying. I'll tell you what. The Rams fans were complaining about them after the game about how toxic they were. I mean, obviously, they booed Stafford, they booed his wife, they booed his kids. That's pretty bad for all the years he played his heart out for them.
You got see why people got to understand. This is a playoff game. This ain't a regular season game.
I hear you.
You shouldn't be booing like the wife and kids and stuff. I wouldn't been doing any of that, but
Yeah.
that's a little extreme. I get you guys had a 32-year drought of winning the playoff game and all that shit. Yeah, kids and wife. If you want to boo Stafford, boo him and whatever. Then at the end of the game, clap for him because again, he was there. That dude did so much for you guys, and you guys gave everything to him, but yet now you just turned completely on him. Like boo whatever during the game, but after the game, they should have clapped and chanted for Stafford because damn well them fans miss him, even though they're like, oh, well, Goff replaced him. Oh, come on now. I think it's the rest of the team that really is doing the job. I mean, Goff's good, but he's not Stafford.
No, he's not he's a trailer, not a tractor.
Yeah.
He's a game manager, not a game changer. Absolutely. But they got the weapons. They got Amon-Ra St. Brown. They got
Montgomery, Gibbs.
Laporta, Gibbs. Yeah, no
Williams.
doubt. Yeah, even Reynolds, who
Yeah.
former Ram, he was playing great against the Rams for sure. He and Goff, the two former Rams, were definitely torching the Rams there for a minute. So yeah, it's kind of interesting, the whole Laporta thing, because he was the reason I picked the Lions to win, or sorry, I picked the Rams to win, was because I thought Laporta was going to be out. Mm-hmm. And then Saturday morning, I was on Bryant Culp's show as just in the audience, and they're saying, "No, Laporta is cleared to play," and I was like, I should probably switch that prediction, and I didn't. I just because it had already been waxed for a few days. And I don't really care that much about it,
Yeah.
But then afterwards, after the weekend, I was like, just so you guys know, like Laporta being out was the reason I picked the Rams. So I should have switched it to the Rams. Anyway, because I obviously missed that one, and I missed your guys's, and I missed the Cowboys, which is kind of funny because I said Rams and Packers worry me the most of any NFC teams, but yet I picked the Cowboys to beat the Packers because I was worried about the Packers matching up against the 49ers. I didn't think they matched up as well against the Cowboys, but boy, was I wrong. All right, at least for that game I was. So I don't know what I think it was, because I wanted Eagles divisional, and I wanted Cowboys NFC Championship game both at Levi's. Yeah. And I wanted to send both of those teams packing.
Well, you don't got to worry about any of it now.
I don't have to. Neither do the players, and I hope that doesn't diminish their motivation at all. Because I know they were so up for the Eagles and Cowboys. We smoked both teams this year in the regular season.
Yeah.
And I think they just want the chip. And
that's all it is.
I think they're motivated.
Your motivation better be the championship. Screw what team you play. I don't care who I play on the way there. I'll beat them all. I mean, does it get a little extra special if you beat one of those teams? Yes. Of course it does.
Just like I want to play the Ravens in the Super Bowl or the Chiefs, one or the other, because we lost to both of them in Super Bowls. I really don't want to have to beat the Bills in the Super Bowl because I kind of like the
Oh,
Bills.
that's because you're the team.
Yeah, yeah. So other thoughts on games from last weekend? Anything? Just trying to make sure
I just
we
feel
missed
like
anything.
Baker made it known. Baker went out there, showed true grit, true maturity, threw for 337 yards and 3 touchdowns. He did his damn thing, and he made sure everybody understood who he is now and what he's about.
With some crazy drops. Could have been a shit
Could have
ton
been way
more.
more.
Way more. Yeah. No, I know. That's why I feel like they have a chance against the Lions in Detroit. I mean, they're favored. The Lions are favored by 6.5, but I don't know.
Did you see that press conference with Todd Bowles?
No, I didn't.
He's up there. This reporter decides to ask him a question.
Oh, I heard. I saw the clip. Yeah, I
What
mean,
kind of shit? How do
yeah,
you an NFL, you a reporter and you don't know what Detroit plays in the dome?
yeah. That was pretty. Yeah, if the weather
Shit.
was going to be a factor, yeah.
That's insane.
Well, and as a segue on that, the weather here in Santa Clara has been going back and forth
Yeah.
all week. Earlier in the week, it said rain. Then like I don't know, Tuesday morning it said rain. Tuesday afternoon, no rain. Yesterday it said no rain. Now it's back to rain. The thing that worried me was it was rain Friday, rain Sunday, no rain Saturday. So it was like bookended with rain. So I was like, if one's late or one's early, then you could end up being rain. So right now it's saying 70% chance of rain. With the show I did earlier, it said 80%. So it's changing all the time. Well, guess we'll see what happens. But as you know, I don't have a lot of confidence in Brock playing in the rain. So I hope we don't have to see that. That could be a real X factor. Alberto Soto and I says, you know what you tell them Cowboys fans better like next year? It was all love. Bars. There you go. And Tampa's defense is better than the Rams' D. Yeah, it is, especially at stopping the run. But you know, Rams' run attack is better than Tampa's, although they couldn't run or didn't run against the Lions. I thought that was interesting that Kyron Williams didn't really do much.
Well, that's because that front for the Lions is great. Like them front four,
Hutchinson,
uh, the other guy.
Aleem McNeil, is that his name?
Yeah, I think that's it.
He slimmed down a little bit for the season. D tackle, and all of a sudden he's better at pass rushing. Yeah, no, they got some good players. They got that linebacker they drafted in after Jahmyr Gibbs in the middle of the first round. Well, you know what they got? They got CJ Gardner-Johnson back.
Yeah.
That's big. He was a big loss for the Eagles to let him walk to the Lions, just like Hargrave was a big loss for them to let him walk to us. And yeah, I guess their defense is a little bit better than advertised based off of that.
You know what's crazy is Gardner Johnson was talking about the Bucks and kind of talking shit, right? And he was naming off all these guys. Oh, well, they got all this and that. And, that wide receiver core could be better if they had a quarterback. What? And then Baker goes, well, you named Russell Gage. He hasn't played for us. Yeah, he didn't play for that game. He's been sitting on the bench. It's just like, man, you got to know what you're talking about first.
Yeah, he's a former Falcon, Russell Gage.
Yeah, Russell Gage. Yeah, you just got to know what you're talking about first.
Yeah, he's definitely an irritant, CJ Gardner-Johnson. I never really cared for him.
What's going on, Danielle?
I never really cared for him as a Saint, and definitely didn't care for him as an Eagle, and I'm sure I won't care for him as a Lion either. So we'll see. Give me 1 sec here. Sorry, we're tracking down my son's bike helmet here.
Ah, you're good. You're good.
Danielle's asked if I'm feeling. Yeah, I actually my sinuses cleared up last night. I got a good night's sleep for the first time this week, so that helped. I'm not coughing as much. I'm not sneezing as much. I think I'm on the tail end of this fever, cough, congestion, whatever that I've had all week. Then my whole family's had it. My wife got it. Then my younger son got a fever. Then my older son got it. Then I got it. Now our childcare has it. And then I think my younger son's getting it again. So it's like
Damn.
just going around the household here, sadly. But thanks for asking, Danielle. I'm doing a lot better for sure. Williams got hurt. He had to have surgery on his hand. Oh, interesting. Kyron Williams. Yeah, he busted up his hand during the game. Like I said, they went for his head on one of the plays. I was surprised he wasn't in concussion protocol. Yeah, and I don't know what happened with his hand. I'm not gonna say that was a dirty. Football's a violent sport. Injuries happen, but definitely that ACL on Higbee, that was the same way it was on Hawkinson. That just rubbed me the wrong way, especially because there was a Seattle guy who tried to do the same thing to Kittle back in 2021 when Lance was playing. I actually guess it was Jimmy G threw a hospital ball, and the Seahawks linebacker went low on Kittle, bent his knee completely backwards. It looked like just these other things, but somehow he got up and was okay after. I guess he went on IR after that for 3 games. So I guess he wasn't totally okay, but at least it wasn't an ACL.
Yeah. Listen, Daniel, I haven't seen or talked to you since we talked about that. I said we could work something out. I'll send you a man cave hat.
There you go. She's going to hold you to it. Danielle, I am definitely concerned that Armstead's foot could, not that it will be, but it could be a problem. Plantar fasciitis, what he has, it's very unpredictable. The only thing that's predictable is that it will come back. It's just when, you just don't know. And so it could be during the game. It could be after the season. It could be next game. It could be during the Super Bowl. But, it's pretty much guaranteed to come back and happen again at some point. Hopefully we can get all the winning we need to do this season out of the way first. So we'll see. But yeah, Eric Armstead's foot is a concern for me. Jake Moody's foot is a concern for me.
His foot better be a concern.
Luckily, sounds like the Packers fans are equally as concerned about Carlson's foot, their rookie kicker. So if it comes down to special teams again, we may actually have the edge. I mean, we definitely have Wisnowski. It was great. Yeah, we definitely did last time at Lambeau with the blocked field goal, the blocked punt, and then, of course, the touchdown following the blocked punt by Hufanga. Only touchdown we scored in that game with special teams. It was pretty crazy. So what are the other matchups? So what do you feel like about – so let's start with the Bills and Chiefs.
Okay.
What are your thoughts on that game? In Buffalo. Listen, first time Mahomes has ever played a playoff game outside of Arrowhead.
That's going to be a huge thing. And at the B in Buffalo with the Mafia, woo, it's going to be rowdy up there. And it's not the coldness, it's all the snow now. So now if it is snowing, it'll be way different than it was for Arrowhead. But Bill's got some injuries, Mahomes doesn't really have nobody to throw the ball to. I mean, you got to think they played against Miami in the cold, and they stopped the speed because speed can't go anywhere in cold. Can't do it. Problem is the Bills play in the cold every day. So you're not going to be able to stop Josh Allen's power arm or Diggs or James Cook. I mean, it's going to be a different story, and I think the Bills get them. I truly do. I think they win. It's a close game, 7 points, 7 points, whatever. I don't know if Mahomes is going to be ready for this. It's his first time on the road, like you said. Never done it in the playoffs. It's going to be a weird
dropping balls.
Yeah, Kelsey. I mean, now you got, is his brother going to retire? It all came out, said he did. he was on his podcast saying, "Hey, it's crazy to make a rash decision after a game like that. I haven't decided anything yet." And he's all emotional because, he's pissed off. He wants to be a Super Bowl champ, and I think he does come back. I think if what happens, like I told you, Sirianni getting fired, if he gets fired and Belichick takes over, I think Kelsey comes back.
What do you think about, speaking of Jason Kelsey, about the brotherly shove getting no love in Tampa? That's pretty crazy that they stopped it for one of the first times I've ever seen.
Listen,
so there was an uncalled face mask on.
Well, there's that, but I don't.
Jalen Hurts.
You know what's funny is people want to kick that play out of football. Makes no sense. Who cares? It's like a scrum that happens down the field after a receiver catches the ball or a running back's going, and then everybody starts pushing. That happens all the time. But it is crazy they finally stopped it. And what I always said, I said, look, I don't understand why somebody doesn't dive underneath the center. Dive right underneath the center.
I'm installing some side skirts, a rear bumper cover, and
you know what I'm saying? And then
I've done all of this before.
Grab a hold of the quarterback. It just
that's what I was expecting. The problem was
it's weird. It's weird.
There you go. Yeah, I know it is weird, and that's what Tampa did, and it worked. I mean, I mentioned that Jalen Hurts got face mask, but I think they had it stopped even without the face mask. I thought.
Oh yeah, he was dead stopped.
Yeah, I don't think he was going to make it even regardless of that. Maybe that's why they didn't call it. But anyway, maybe they just didn't see it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's interesting. I guess. I mean, I hope he retires. I think he should just call it a career.
Who?
Jason Kelsey. But with Travis, is Taylor Swift going to show up if she doesn't have a special luxury box to sit in with?
I think they're going to give it to her either way. I think they give her the box. There's no way. Then she'll say she just ain't coming to Buffalo. They'll be pissed.
Exactly. I don't know. That'll be interesting. Yeah, I mean, I picked the Bills, but I don't know. Eric Crocker is a big content creator for us, and he said the Chiefs. Call me crazy, but he thinks the Chiefs are the most dangerous team remaining, and until they're out, he's just not going to believe it until he sees it, type of thing. And I kind of get it. It's kind of like how it was with Brady and all the great quarterbacks, where you're just you're just always worried they're gonna something's gonna switch. And yeah, we know he doesn't really have any receivers, but I guess Rashee Rice has been playing better of late. I think he played well in the playoff game, and I think he's been playing well down the stretch too. So if he has two weapons, plus decent running backs, I'm trying to think of that seven, Pacheco, and then Jet McKinnon isn't much of a running back, but he's a good receiver, and I guess Clyde Edwards-Helaire, he's just no good. Period. He's not good at much.
I think he needs to go to a different team.
Yeah, a little change of scenery.
Yes.
Never a bad idea. All right, so we're both saying Bills, but I'm a lot shakier on it. It sounds like than you are.
Yeah, no, yeah, I'm not.
You feel good.
I get the magic where everyone says, "Oh, he's Mahomes," blah blah blah.
But also, it's not just the Brady play though. It's like the Brady calls.
Yeah, and again, that's the only reason why you should be shaky is because the refs.
Yes, and that's something I'm a big tinfoil hat guy, and so
guess where they're at?
Yeah, Buffalo.
Exactly.
Yeah. I Buffalo
beat them. Buffalo beat them earlier this year in
Buffalo. Yeah. All right. I like it. No, they're favored. I mean,
guess what didn't happen there? The Brady calls.
Interesting. Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to be watching that game very intently. And then we got, Ravens, Texans. So that game is the first game of the weekend. Ravens, Texans, that's on Saturday before our game. And, do you think the Lightning can strike twice? Do you think they can knock off the Ravens? You know, do you think? I mean, CJ Stroud is clearly legit, but is he that legit? Do they have enough weapons without Tank Dell? Is Nico Collins enough?
Look, with the Texans is they're that team. That they are a good team, but they're young. They are young, but they're complete. And that's what's crazy there. They are a complete team, but they're young. I think it's going to be close. I don't think they win, but I do think they give the Ravens a run. I really do. I could see it being a 10-point game or less because CJ is going to do something that they're not ready for. CJ definitely is. Like, he is going to watch. He'll punch him in the mouth right away, and it'll make the Ravens back off.
Wow.
And they'll be amazed by that. Like, holy shit. Because, you know, these teams played each other this year, right? First week. Score was 25-7. So you went against a rookie quarterback and a rookie head coach, and you beat him by 18 points. Okay. That team is not the team you're facing this week.
No, not even close.
Exactly. Granted, the Ravens have done whatever they've done, but the thing is, they've been the same team to me all year. They haven't really changed. They didn't add nobody. They didn't make any real changes.
Well, one big change, Mark Andrews is back.
Oh, well, but he was there for week one.
Okay, but I'm just saying he wasn't there for
again, during the season, yeah. But likely stepped right in and did the same thing.
Run. So I don't know. And then, you know, the other big difference is, you know, Brown's defense was kind of notorious for not traveling well. That was at NRG, and now this is at M&T in the cold and maybe rain. I haven't checked the weather report, but, you know, in the cold, at least in Baltimore, instead of the friendly confines of Houston, I think that'll make a big difference too.
CJ's used to that, though. Played for Ohio State. He played for that cold weather. He knows what that's about.
That's true. Okay, so CJ did, but what about the rest of the? I mean,
the rest of the team, yeah, it'll be different. I mean, Willie Anderson's. I think Will Anderson will be perfectly fine. D'Amico again. D'Amico can coach. I mean, he called out some plays and he was dead on. He's the one that called that pick six. That forget what his name. He literally told him this is what's going to happen, and he intercepted the ball, ran it back for a pick six. I mean, D'Amico's still acting like he's on the field, and it's amazing what he's doing there. Again, I think it's going to be close. I don't see it being a blowout. I think it'll be one of those games where it'll be shaky, and then the Ravens in the end will take over.
Okay, so you do think the Ravens will win?
Oh, I do think the Ravens win. Yes,
I definitely
think it'll be close.
But you'd take the Texans in the points. 9.5, obviously. That's a lot.
Yeah, I definitely take 9.5. If that's what it is.
That's a lot for sure. Yeah. Real quick, Red Jet Shell's in the house. She says hi, chat.
Red Jet.
Hey, chat. She says watching on both channels. Thank you. We appreciate that. Like and sub both channels. Thank you. Indeed. Please do that, everyone. Thanks for checking out Terradome and me, Mike. There you go.
Yeah, good show.
Nice. It says, now I see the Kelsey brothers playing for KC next season. I really see that happening. I didn't know that Travis Kelsey's contract was up. Has he been able to make a move?
It's up, and I think.
But why would Jason Kelsey go to the Chiefs when they already have Creed Humphrey? They already have a stud young center. Like,
listen,
Creed Humphrey might be better than Jason Kelsey at this point.
They're both coming to Cleveland. Them boys played
the Kelsey brothers,
Cleveland Heights and everything. Yes, they're from Cleveland.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, they from Cleveland. They went to Cincinnati for college. Yeah, these are hometown boys. That's what they should do. Bring themselves back here for a year, and it's already been posted up. MGK, you know who MGK is, correct?
No,
he's a rapper. He's a musician. He's from Cleveland here. He called Travis and said, "Hey, I got some money. You bring your ass back here to Cleveland. You can get that on top of whatever they sign you for."
There you go. All right, this is big. I saw this today. Marlon Humphrey ruled out for the Ravens. That might be bigger than Mark Andrews back.
That's equal. The switch, it's almost the same thing, except for now your defense
Yeah.
is hurt.
Yeah.
That's a big thing for Stephon Diggs. I don't, to be honest, Gabe Davis, I think, was hurt, so I don't know if he's going to be back. Knox and Kincaid have been doing good. That's a big thing with Humphrey out.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's big. If we think CJ Stroud is going to do good things, that's one more thing that'll help him to do better. He says he will be a free agent. Interesting.
Travis, yeah.
Hey, Travis is, huh? I could swear he just signed an extension. I guess it was just a bunch of dead years to pay him more money right now. Interesting. So we could finally, if we got Travis Kelce, we could finally settle the debate about who's better with all the same variables being thrown to by the same quarterback. I think Kittle's better in every way, honestly. I'll go to my deathbed. And that's not a homer take, in my opinion. That's about like you got Patrick Mahomes throwing to you more than any other QB throws per season behind a good pass blocking line compared to crappy quarterbacks mostly for us behind running O-lines that can't pass protect for
Well, what's funny is they both came from colleges that are known for not having nobody to throw the ball at all. And Kelce, if I'm correct, if the story I remember being told is Travis was a wide receiver, right? Or a running back, one of the two, and his college career was going to the tank. Like going straight to the shit. And Jason said, you know what? Why don't we move you to tight end? Why don't we get you right for tight end? They put him at tight end the next year, and bam, he just blew up and he became what he is.
There you go. Crazy.
Like Mark Andrews is questionable for Saturday too.
I mean, that's just because he's just coming back. He'll play. He's going to play.
I think it all depends on how they feel about it. Because if they can get another week without him and get him fully right for the Bills or Chiefs, I think they would do that if they feel comfortable enough. Because Likely, again, has been doing a lot.
He has been. Zay Flowers is playing well. Even the guy from Minnesota, I always forget his name, the big wide receiver. He seems like he's been playing a little bit better lately, finally, after all these years. They drafted him like 2-3 years ago. Anyway, it seems like he's been playing better too. All right. So we both like the Ravens. We both like the Bills. I picked the Lions. I don't like the Lions, but I picked them because I do think they'll probably beat the Bucks. But I think it'll be a close game. But what's your pick in that game?
Mine is the Lions.
Yeah.
Mine is going to be the Lions. I think me and Bobby G were talking this yesterday on our show. That could be the potential blowout game where the Lions just destroy them. But
interesting.
I don't know. I don't know if I could see that because, I mean, again, Baker, the whole thing, they're not supposed to be there, all this stuff. They like the underdog mentality. It's something like that. But I think the Lions win no matter what, whether it's a blowout or not. I think it's going to be the Lions. I think they get after Baker and they make him real uncomfortable, and that's going to be a difference because you got to think in that game, Baker almost had 2 interceptions. They were just dropped balls. What's up, Back It Up? Man, you ever listen to Back It Up?
I have not, no. But
Listen,
I might
he's
have
got
to.
these things called binge bites, and I swear, you want to gain some knowledge. I'm talking about information, old school, new school, whatever. They're only like 2-3 minutes long. They're good.
Nice.
Good info there.
I'll check it out. Thanks for joining Back It Up, Benj. We appreciate you being here. So, all right. So I think we're covered on most of the games other than this other game. Are you picking the Packers again this weekend or
all right,
picking my Niners?
Let me lay this out for you. The Packers got something, right? What they have is it's a W no matter what for them.
Right.
It doesn't matter what they do. They were the first 7th seed to ever win a game.
Right.
They took down the Cowboys. Jay Love's doing it with nobody out there. There's no Watson. He might come back this week. I don't know. He's doing it with Romeo Dobbs. He's doing it with
Wicks,
Wicks. He's
Reed,
doing it with the tight end,
Kraft,
the other guy,
Kraft, and
forget the other one's name, but him.
yeah.
You got AJ, you got Aaron Jones. The defense, what they have and what'll make the difference to me is, and I'm gonna tell you now ahead of time, I picked the Niners, but it will be closer than what people want it to be. Because again, if the rain does matter, if the rain comes in effect, the Packers can pressure Purdy. They can do that, get him on his heels. And Packers got good secondary. Zaires out there, they can cover that game. So
he hasn't practiced yet this week, though. But yeah, I think he'll play. He'll play.
Yeah, I don't think that's a doubt in mind. Even after the game when they interviewed him, I'm not even worried about that. You guys are going to win, but I still think it'll be like a 10-point game. It won't be some crazy thing.
No,
10,
yeah,
17
I don't even
game.
know if we'll cover, honestly.
Well, what's the points?
9.5.
See, yeah,
A lot.
I
take
the Packers into points.
I would too.
And I think Love's definitely going to surprise you. Love's going to surprise a lot of people and be like, "Oh, he's actually here." And if you go back, look at how everybody came into effect in the Green Bay quarterback room for the last 20 damn years. Favre was playing. Rodgers sat for 3. Rodgers came in, balled out. Love sat for 3. Now Love's here. I mean, they just figured out how to keep bringing in quarterbacks and making them what they are.
Yeah, and Favre owned the Niners. We own Rodgers. Now Love, TBD, yet to be seen.
I don't think, again, he's not going to win this game. They're lacking talent, but it's going to be a good game. I think it'll be a good game. I think you guys will hate it because you'll think about whatever, but I think it'll come down to the second half and it'll be, late third quarter, beginning of the fourth, and you guys take over.
I definitely trust our defense more than I believe in their defense, for sure.
Oh, yes.
Especially with Armstead back, Trey Greenlaw's back.
100% do I trust your guys' defense. Again, it's just if that weather, because I didn't even think about the weather factor until you said that. If that weather really plays an issue, it'll make it's that much more of that to me.
Yeah. No, I'm with you 100%.
I really think this whole road, this path to the Super Bowl is your guys' to lose. This is your guys' to lose. You guys should be in the Super Bowl no matter what. Winning it is a different story because, again, if you face the Ravens, you got to look back on what happened on Christmas Day, and then hopefully you guys come up with a different game plan and everything.
I don't think we do. I don't think we do come up with a different game plan because I feel like we had 3 picks off of tips, and tip balls typically are intercepted at a 3% rate. So, like, even if they tip just as many balls against us, the chances of them getting all these picks off of them again are like slim to none.
Well,
so
that just means they get their hands in the air.
Yeah. Yeah. And one of them, the guy came through Kittle's back and it was a DPI, uncalled DPI. So, like, I don't know.
You're going to have that.
But I don't sweat the Ravens. I think if we play them 10 times, I think we beat them 7 out of 10.
I don't think it'll be nowhere near a blowout.
Yeah.
Like if that's the game, either way, I don't think it's a blowout. I think that's an actual good game to watch. Most of these Super Bowls haven't been lately.
No.
There's some trash Super Bowls in the last,
Yeah, no, the Eagles Chiefs was one of the best in the last 5 years.
Yeah. And before that, it's just all sorts of
refs.
Yeah, I don't like that. Like, I hate when the refs have that final drive shit. Like with the Rams Cincy, like that, the offsides and then the interference down the field. That's insane for that to be the reason why Cincinnati lost.
Yeah. And I tell Rams fans, and they're like, oh, but, they're Higgins had offensive pass interference on their touchdown. I'm like, it was a makeup non-call. That's all it was.
Yeah.
That's all it was because Higgins was held in the first half, and they ended up only getting a field goal instead of a touchdown. Interesting. Let's see here. anything else that we should cover while we're here together? I mean, obviously, I'm sorry about your Browns. Great season.
Like I
Like
said,
you
it's a
said,
W no matter
win.
what. W no matter what.
Yeah, I agree. Looks like you guys have the defense figured out there for sure, and I'm sure the offense too with Chubb and Deshaun Watson back should be.
Listen, that is one thing I am happy about. I don't want to hear about Flacco no more. Don't want to hear should he start next year? Should he be hit? No. Deshaun Watson is the guy moving forward. We did a lot. We paid a lot. He's getting paid a lot. And I want to hear this. Oh, well, Flacco this. No. He did what we called him to do. He said, hey, we need you to throw a couple balls, get your ass off the couch, put on some football stuff, and get off your sweats. But there is no, unless he wants to sit there, and even then, even sit there and be a backup, that'd be an issue. Because then Deshaun's going to constantly think the minute he fucks up once, putting Flacco in.
Yeah.
That's it. We're good. It's Watson's team. That's it. And I'm happy that's finally done.
Any big free agents for the Browns that we should keep an eye on?
I think they probably go get a left tackle somewhere. Or maybe move DeJuan Jones over there.
The one that got away. A lot of Niners fans really wanted him in the draft, including Bashar, my buddy from Fridays.
We need a linebacker.
To go with JOK?
Yes. I mean, Anthony Walker, he's been injury prone, it seems like. He's getting up there. We need a linebacker to go right along with him. JOK, I mean, Jesus. That dude was in the backfield more than Myles Garrett was in that game. I mean, he's just quick. And he puts the pads to you. He hurts you. Yeah, if we can get a nice linebacker with him, I mean, that's a side. If I'm spending money, that's what I want to spend money on. Spend money on the linebacker. And then a wide receiver, They say I wouldn't mind having like a Calvin Ridley. I know he's up, but Jags should resign him. I wouldn't mind. We could talk him into coming to Cleveland. But, you don't want another route runner because Tyler Boyd's name got thrown out there. I'm like, we got Cooper, and Cooper's better than Tyler. So not worried about that. But we do need another wide receiver. Bobby G wants to draft all wide receivers. He said in the draft, I want 20 wide receivers. I can't miss on all of them.
There you go. Right on. Well, tell Bobby G I said hello. And anything you got going on the rest of the week that you want to promote?
Tomorrow I got In the Hoop with Bobby G and the boys from Let's Talk Sports at 9:00. Sunday, I started a new show with my son. We do it at noon. It's called The Old Man and the Kid. Me and him go back and forth. He brings on a couple of his guys from his podcast called The Cultured Ones on YouTube. We go at it. We do some fun stuff. And again, like they're new school, so they don't know a lot about the old school. I kind of school them in some stuff. And then 6:30 to 8 is Sports Madness now on Sundays. And, next, continue on. Tuesdays we do a little thing. Relax Wednesdays and my AFC North show.
Very nice. So I've got Goody, which I guess is short for Gutenkoost. He's a Packers fan. He's coming on here at 3. So for people, the reason why we're stopping short today is because of this other show. I got a Behind Enemy Lines show. Otherwise, normally Mike and I will chop it up for an hour and a half or more most of the time. But Mike, thanks for being flexible, and I will holler at you next week. Hopefully, talking about NFC Championship.
Don't do it. Don't be Red Jet. Red Jet's not optimistic at all and already calling it. Me and her got a bet.
Oh boy!
If you guys win, she's got to come on one of my shows or Sports Madness, proclaim that she was wrong and that she needs to stop being that way. But if you guys lose, I got to wear a polo shirt on here and be corporate.
Oh my goodness! Wow, that'd be shocking. Oh my! Not the receipts again. There you go. All right. Right on. Yeah, so I got this Goody coming on here at 3, and then I got another Packers show tomorrow morning. That's 3 Pacific, 6 Eastern. And then another Packers show tomorrow morning at 8:30 a.m. Pacific, 11:30 Eastern. And that guy's name is escaping me, but let me look it up real quick. It's
I'm shocked you didn't talk to Nick Bodkins.
It's Brunelli Sports. Well, Nick and I had some beef earlier this season,
Should have been
and
great for that.
yeah, I don't know. I just never asked him. I know I thought of it, and I was just like, I just wasn't sure that he would be respectful. Most of the guests I bring on are respectful, and I was pretty sure he wouldn't be, to be honest. So maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm reading him wrong. But ultimately, I thought it was better to skip Nick.
I feel it. I feel it. He does get rowdy.
Yeah. No, I said some things to him that I probably shouldn't have, and I don't know that. I just don't know. Some people are willing to move on from things like that. Some people will hold a grudge, and I wasn't willing to risk a show on on that. I haven't gotten any kind of a clue from him that it's like water under the bridge or anything like that. He still seems pretty unhappy with me. But anyway, rest in peace, Laura Cat. One of the members of our audience passed away. Well, it wasn't this week. We found out yesterday, but I guess it happened on the 2nd of January. And so I guess always good to, wish, prayers up for her and her family. For everyone who knew her, I had met her after a training camp practice over the summer with Bashar, and great gal, and sad for her family, and all her friends. But she will live on in all of our memories, and so let's keep her in our memories, keep her in our hearts. And thanks,
time for
everybody.
a Niners win for her.
There you go. All right. Well, Mike, thanks for coming on.
Always.
Peace and go Niners. There you go.